Hi guys, in this video today I'm going to show you how to do the beautiful moss stitch. The other day I did one which was a double row moss stitch, but this is a moss stitch on every row. So this is just a little sample piece that I have knit just before the video to show you what it'll actually look like. I'm going to go ahead and start. Now, for the purpose of the video, I always use my little Smiley 5mm kids needles, plastic needles. I normally like, if I'm doing a project, I like to use the circular bamboo needles. I find them really good. Now I know the wool, that the yarn that I'm using at the moment should be for 4 to 4.5mm needles, but it'll actually just show it a little bit better for you if I do it with the larger ones. If you're going to if you're knitting or you need, and you're just a beginner, always look at the label that's around the yarn. It'll actually give you a gauge, and it'll also show you what size needles you should be using. That's normally a good it's normally a good way of, if you're a tight knitter, just go up 0.5mm and do a little swatch just to see if your gauge is right. It'll normally tell you how many rows to do for how many stitches. So I'm going to start here. So I'm going to do a plain stitch, and then I'm going to do a purl stitch or a stockinette stitch, and then I'm going to do a plain stitch, a knit stitch. So you bring your wool to the front and you go into the front of your needle and bring your wool around for the stockinette or the purl stitch. For your plain stitch, you bring it back to the back and you go into the front, but you knit to the back, if you know what I mean. And then you come back to the front, you go into for your stockinette, and then you bring your wool into the middle, yarn into the middle, bring it from the front to the back. And the plain, you go the opposite way. So it's like you're knitting back to front and front to back. So this is your moss stitch. With the moss stitch, if you do a stockinette on one row or a purl stitch on one row, and you do a plain on the next row, you will do the opposite. So I'll just go ahead and I shall knit across this row for you. Let me make sure I haven't made a mistake there. Okay, so as you can see here on this one, where we have a plain, it's the plain stitch here, you're actually going to do a purl into this, or a stockinette, sorry. Just let me get started here. So you're going to do into the first one. Now into the second one, where you can see it was a purl, you can see it was a purl on the last row, you're actually going to do a plain. And you're going to do a purl on top of the plain, and then you're going to do a plain on top of the purl, or as other people say, you do a stockinette on top of a knit, and a knit on top of a stockinette. So you do this all the way across. It's a 2-row pattern repeat. It's gorgeous for cardigans, jumpers, blankets, and obviously if you get thicker wool, it will knit up much quicker, and it gives a gorgeous texture. So now you have your purl or stockinette from the previous row, so you're going to knit into this one, and then where you had your plain or your knit stitch, you're going to purl, and you do that all the way across. So a plain or a knit on top of a stockinette or a purl stitch, depending on what side of the world you're from. I was taught in school a plain and a purl. So you knit this all the way across again, going from your opposites, and you can see where it's actually starting to, you're actually starting to get your design. I actually just did 4 rows of plain or 4 rows of knit stitch before I started. I'll do a few more rows so you can see. So you have your plain stitch here, so you're now going to do your purl, where you're stockinette, and then on top of your pearl you're going to do your knit. So it's actually, if you're starting off, you need to concentrate, because it can be quite easy to actually do the wrong stitches on top of the stitches from the row before. I don't know if you can start to see it there, it's starting to take shape. It's actually lovely too if you wanted to do it on a border of a cardigan, or for a twist you could obviously do it on, instead of doing a rib stitch, you could do this stitch before you start your work, give it a bit of a twist on whatever you're doing. I just did 16 stitches just for this tutorial, so it won't take up too much of your time, but it is a lovely one, very tactile. Now you're going to do your pearl, plain, pearl, plain, so it's actually not a hard stitch to do. You just, if you're not sure, look at what you have on your needle, and you can see when it's faced like this, you're going to do your pearl on top of it, and if you look and you see it's like this, you know you're going to do a plain stitch. Oops. Yeah, it's actually a lovely stitch. This will be a better side to show you on. I'll do one more row, and if you have any questions or anything you'd like to know, please send messages. I'll get back to them straight away. If you like my videos, I'd love if you subscribe and share. And on the next video I'm going to do a single rib. On one of my other videos I did the double rib, but now I'm going to do the single rib, so that'll be on my next tutorial. So I'm just finishing off here. I'll let you have a look and see what you think. So there you go, that is your moss stitch, the basic moss stitch, and I hope you like that. Until the next time, bye.